Hi and welcome. Today we'll be starting by looking at the sales blanket agreement from a series I will be looking at in sales under SAP Business One. So just right before we start, let's talk about what a sales blanket agreement is. A sales blanket agreement is an agreement between a sales organization and a customer for the supply of services or items over a period of time based off on a predefined terms and condition. So it is worth noting that this sales agreement can also be used as a basis for expected revenue forecast and then for capacity planning. So for better context, let's say company A has a business agreement with a customer, and company A has committed to supplying large quantities, or the customer has committed to purchasing large quantities of a certain number of goods over a certain period of time at a certain price from the company A. So let's say 1000 units of that item was agreed to be delivered in units of 250 over a weekly basis for the next 1 month by company A to her customer. So for record keeping, to record sales transaction in relation to, let's say, this business agreement, you can create a sales document such as deliveries or invoice or sales quotations, since they are automatically linked to the sales document by SAP Business One. This very way, prices that have been agreed upon with the business partner can be copied directly into the sales document. But you can also choose to create a sales order that is not bound by the business agreement, and conditions can also be set whereby you can set 1000 units of that item to be open for procurement by the said customer within a duration of 30 days 30 days period. So let's say the customer was able to purchase 1000 units of that item before the lapse of the 30 days. It reverts back to the normal price. Or let's say the 30-day period elapses and the customer was not able to procure or buy the said item within the 30-day period. It reverts also back to the normal price. So let's delve in and then begin. But just before we start, it's okay for us to go look at the configuration setting from this sales blanket agreement. So we click on administration. When we click on administration, we come down here to the system initialization. Check the system initialization. We click on general settings. When we click on general settings, we click on the business partner, which is already open, and then we ensure that the business partner agreement for allow multiple blanket agreements for same period is allowed. If we do not do that, it will not allow us to be able to treat multiple business agreements for a business partner to be, or that will be valid in the same period in the SAP Business One. So since this is allowed, we can be able to create multiple business blanket agreements with the said business partner in the same period. So we click on OK, and then we close these, and then we come down here to the sales. When we come to sales, we click on the sales blanket agreement. So with respect to this, like every other transactional document, it opens in the find mode, but this is not what we want. We control 8 and then it changes down here to the add. So let's pick the customer, because we already have a master data for different customers in the system. Let's pick the customer with whom we're going to be having business with. We click on microchips. So let's say we click on, we click on microchips just because I love chips, and then we choose it, and it automatically fills other fields like the business partner name, the contact person in the in our customer's company, and then the business partner currency, the telephone number, the email with whom which we're going to be contacting, Judy Brown in the said company, and then we have the model or the mode by which we'll be numbering these documents. Primary means that the system is going to be automatically numbering the said sales blanket agreement for us. If we create another blanket agreement, it's going to be numbering it 3. We create another, it's going to be numbering it 4, continuously like that. But if we do it manual, it means that we are going to be able to number these things just the way we want it. So let's give this manual numbering for 5, and then the agreement method is going to be items method, and then this start date. The start date is going to be today, and then the end date for this blanket agreement, let's give it we can easily just give it 5 days from today, or we can give it the 31st of this month. So the start date and the end date, this is the date until which the release against the blanket agreement starts or end, and this cannot be changed. This cannot be earlier or later than the start or end date of the blanket agreement. If we do not do so, it's going to give us the normal price of the item that does not fall within the discount or the agreed price that was agreed with the customer. We'll be looking at this, the effect of this in the system. We have 22nd and then 31st. So down here, okay, for the termination date, this is the date until when the agreement ceases to be effective. That is when we plan to terminate the agreement between the said period, that is between the start and then the end date. While for the sign-in date, this is the date when we agreed for this particular contract, normally when period starts. That is why we see that the sign-in date is similar to the start date. So let's give this blanket agreement a description. That is the name, description for this, for easy identification. So let's give it blanket agreement microchips. Just like I said, I love chips. So in the general tab, we have the general, and then we have the specific, though I've spoken about these in other videos in purchasing, but just to lay emphasis, it's okay for us to talk about this also in sales. For the general, we have the general blanket agreement, which is used to track fulfillment of terms used to obtain a special bonus at, let's say for instance, year end, or for example for selling or purchasing of a certain quantity of an item, or for achieving a defined turnover, you receive a bonus or a discount on it when you reach a certain target. But for the specific blanket agreement, this is used to track the fulfillment of terms to obtain a special discount for the individual sales or purchasing transactions. They are also used to determine a delivery schedule, for example by defining at which interval which quantity of goods should be delivered. So we're going to be clicking on the specific, and then when we click on the specific, we come down here to the status and then render these as approved. Clicking approve over there renders our blanket agreement active. And then the settlement probability for these, because we believe microchip is going to be able to meet up to this said agreement, we give them a settlement probability of 100. Do we need a reminder for us to be able to look at this blanket agreement just before the said date of, let's say, 31st of this month? Is let's say 9 days after the agreement starts. There's no need for that. So the shipping type, we could actually choose maybe FedEx. I don't really think this field is necessary for me. And then the payment terms, cash basics and all that, I don't really feel like these fields are necessary. So we come down here to the details tab, and the details tabs we are going to be able to select several appliances or items for which this sales agreement is going to hold with this customer. So we come down here, and then let's say we want let's see, motherboard, microchips, motherboard. Yeah, let's pick motherboard. So then we choose the motherboard. Let's choose the printing label also. We choose the printing label and then the motherboard, and then we include it down here. So I haven't done that. For the planned quantity, let's say microchips intend to purchase 100 items of the motherboard, and then for the printing label they also choose to purchase, let's say, 50 of it. So the unit price for this, how do we know the agreeing price for this, that we want to hold this blanket agreement within the said duration period? We look at the motherboard, and in the system we see that this costs 200 per unit for each of these items. We close, and then we can put these 100 units per price for the cost price for each of these items, and then we click on the printing label and then see how much this costs. This is pretty cheap. The price we need is per pack, so we have 6, so we can close this and then come down here and give this a price of 3. So we scroll down here to the left, and then we have a free text field where we can be able to add text and then activities with respect to this, what do they call it, with respect to this blanket agreement. So if we can be able to add, we can be able to click on the add field down here. I don't know, on the default was set for business partner code. Do you want to continue? Yes, we want to continue, so we click on the continue, and then I want continue. Do you want to continue? Yes, we want to continue. So we can see down here that our blanket agreement was successfully created for microchips down here. So we can be able to close this. Remember that the document numbering is 5, so we can be able to close this. So when, let's say, we come down here to the sales quotation, which we'll be looking at in our next video, we will see how we'll be able to pull in the blanket agreement into the sales quotation with respect to this customer microchips. When I say just because I love chips. So this brings us to the end of this particular segment for this series. So thank you very much for your time. That's all from me today. To find out more, you can be able to contact us across various social media platforms, and you can also be able to subscribe to our channel and then turn in your posts for notifications, just in case we have new contents and videos that are made available to you. So do have a lovely day. Ciao.